Hi, my name is Hanbo, and I'm a student at WHRHS. As a part of the Whitman's 150th anniversary celebration, we are speaking with longtime Whitman residents. Today we have Mrs. O'Leary. So I'm gonna be asking her some questions. So, where did your family live when you were born?
They lived on Plymouth Street down by the Abington-Whitman line. Down across the street now is the Cranberry, Bayberry, all the Berries Road.
Is your neighborhood the same today as when you were a child?
No, not really. We had 11 acres, and it was all one piece of property. And now the original house, my parents built a retirement house next door, right on the Abington-Whitman line. And across the street is all the Berry Roads. And there used to be, as I remember, 2 huge oil tanks, Wright's oil tank, and 2 of them, huge, right across the street, but they finally got rid of them.
You're gone? Yeah. Do you miss them?
No. I don't think anybody misses them.
What generation are you as a Whitman resident?
3rd.
That's very nice. Do you have any family here?
Oh no, everybody leaves. Everybody leaves Whitman to get to a more interesting place, I guess. I have 4 children, my husband and I. He was in business here at O'Leary Plumbing for almost 50 years. And even when I go shopping now, I hear people say, "Oh, your husband was the best plumber, best plumber." And he got all his work with recommendations. He sponsored all the teams and coached, and I coached also here.
At this school, or?
Well, I was involved with the school a lot. I started the girls' basketball league. I started the Friends of Whitman Park. We used to meet here once in a while, and then we meet at the town hall. I was on several commissions, the cultural commissions.
Sounds like you were very busy.
Yeah, that's what I did with all my spare time that you asked me what I did in my spare time.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
So back in your school days, what comes to mind as an important event for the children of Whitman?
Oh, I went to 4 proms.
4 proms?
Imagine that, I did. I went to 4 proms. The nicest thing from my high school years that I remember we had at the town hall, and it was not a prom, it was a procession. And all the seniors, whether you had a date or didn't have a date, didn't matter because everybody in the class went. It was formal.
Oh.
And all the parents sat in the upper town hall, and the kids promenade down the center so that everybody had a chance to take part in the graduation. I wish they'd bring that back. I would love to see them do that again. There's too much emphasis on proms.
Yeah.
And this was for everyone. And we danced. I remember dancing with my father. And the boys danced with their mother, of course. But it was a wonderful evening, and everybody shared in the celebration. It was great.
That sounds
should
great.
do it again.
What did you attend school here? So what school did you attend?
Oh, God. Here's the story my husband wants me to tell. I went to the Reed School. It was on Pleasant Street, about halfway up Pleasant Street. It was, I guess it was like the Dyer School. It was just 3 or 4 of them all the same kind. And we went there was no, we had a cafegimatorium, as Ray would say on radio.
Was it all combined?
Oh, yes. In a dusty basement. The first year we had no cafeteria at all. I lived a mile from the school exactly. We went home for lunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I skated because.
Did you enjoy going home for lunch?
Yeah, because I got to roller skate. And you go over the sidewalk on your roller skates and you go boom, 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 boom. And your feet vibrate.
Did you ever
for 10
fall?
minutes later. I don't know.
No.
Couldn't have been too bad if I did, because I don't remember. But we had the old key and the metal skates and the metal wheels, and every time you went over a crack, it dumped. But we had no cafeteria. But a year or 2 after that, we got a cafegimatorium, and we got to eat our lunch there. But the biggest thing that I remember was the tonsil day. All the kids in school were examined and got their tonsils pulled in school.
In school?
In school. My husband still doesn't believe this story, but it's true. Dr. Reed, he lived next door to where the Holt condos are. Lived right next door there, Dr. Reed. He also sewed up my head with a crack one time when on the
Was he an actual
playground.
doctor? Was he an actual doctor?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
But it was tonsil day, and everybody was going to get their tonsils out, except me, because I had a cold. I was so lucky. I had a cold, and I didn't get mine out. I still have all my parts. So if that cold didn't come, I would have had my tonsils moved in school. But it was good. Mrs. Benner was the principal, very rigid principal. And then I went to the junior high, which is where the whole condos are now, across the street from the cable station on South Ave. Went there to school. That was pretty uneventful, really. Just went through it. We had our recess in the park, which was nice.
Oh, that's fun.
Then I went to Whitman High School, and I don't remember any too many eventful things happening. We had an undefeated state championship football team. That was kind of exciting in the day when there weren't too many kids involved in each team. You know, I still have the football that I went out with them. I went out with a football player. I got the gold football that Dave Menard's father gave a gold-plated, but football to all the boys. Oh. And I still have it. But we had a good time watching the football games. And Ned Kirby comes to mind because when they made that school, it was built on land that wasn't too dry. And so Ned Kirby was our state senator, and he was about 6'5", I guess, which was extremely tall in those days. And he was very, very happy with the new gym because when they built the floor of the gym, they didn't take into fact the water level.
Did it ever flood?
No, they did. They got water out. So they had to raise it 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches anyway. 3, 4 even maybe. Ned Kirby was beside himself because he could dunk the ball. He loved it. He loved that they had to lower the hoops or raise the floor up. But it was a good school. We had some good teachers. I do remember I went back because I wanted to go to college, and I had taken a secretarial course. And women in those days weren't supposed to go to college anyway. But my father sort of encouraged me, and I went and took an extra course, an extra year in high school. a postgraduate course, which was unheard of. And my father had to argue to make them give it to me, but he did. He gave it to me, and I got into Stonehill. So that's all my schooling, and I don't think it was very exciting.
No, it was. So what modern items do you remember being introduced during your
Oh God, the computer.
computer? Did you like the
cell
computer?
phone. You know, well, my daughter went to Wellesley, and they had computers on everywhere. So she just brought one home for me and said, play with this. And so I did. And now I do pretty well. But that's an amazing thing. It's just amazing how many things have changed because of it. And the cell phone, my God, the cell phones. I remember my sister worked for a phone, digital, was it? And they wanted to know what to do with their computers. They had so many computers, and they, how do we use these? So she suggested, in her term of employment, that they make these answering machines. They take messages, pick a number 1 to 5. Did you do this?
Oh.
Did you do that? Yeah. Well, that, which I think was a horrible idea, but it went where now we all scream into the phone, representatives, give me a human being, whatever. That was a big change. And, I know I'm forgetting something, but I do appreciate what we have, but there's a lot of it.
Is there a building or business you miss from Whitman?
Yes. I miss Jubert's.
Jubert's?
It was a clothing store, and it's where the dollar store is now.
Oh, okay.
He still owns the property, I understand, and he's down in one of the islands. He was a great young man, very, very good to my son and his friend. He gave them jobs all the time they were in high school so they could earn some money.
That's good.
But I miss Jubert's, and the biggest business in town that I would miss if it left, I would probably cry, is Duval's. Duval's has been the biggest, just a huge supporter of everybody and everything. And this is the 3rd or 4th generation.
Oh, really?
Oh, and I just think they don't get enough appreciation. I would miss them, and I missed Jubert's. So I always used to, I'm going to run down to Jubert's and get this. I'm going to run down to Jubert's and get that. And when it was gone, it felt like a crazy lady. You can't run. Well, now I can't run anywhere. So. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time.
No. Who was the most impressive Whitman resident you knew? Or no?
I have to say my husband. That sounds...
Did you meet him in Whitman?
No. I met him on the first day of college at registration. He just was next to me for all the time we were there. He was just wouldn't give up. He coached soccer for a long time. The boys still, when they go by, they'll stop and say hi to him because he was really liked a lot. He coached and he supported the teams. He sponsored a lot of teams. Number one thing in my mind is he's my enabler. I couldn't have done any of these extra things that I did, and the list is as long as your arm of the things I was involved in, but it was because I didn't have to worry about getting a job.
Oh, because he provided?
Oh, he provided very well. But my kids did well, too. In fact, one worked with Michael Ganscher down at the park on the swimming pool. And Michael always liked my tuna fish sandwiches. But that was another good thing about that pond. I have some pictures at home of it, but that swimming pool was not supposed to be there because there weren't supposed to be any fences. There still aren't supposed to be any fences in the park. How baseball get along without it, I don't know. But there weren't supposed to be any fences, and they sent somebody into Boston to fix it so that they could put the pool there. But it has been such an asset. Kids with swimming lessons and life-saving things. I was up to my son's summer place on Fry Island, and there was a boat that came about a couple hundred yards from the shore, and 2 girls jumped over to swim to the shore, and they couldn't. You could see right away they couldn't make it. And Michael will appreciate this because Stephen did what he was taught at the pool. And he was a senior lifesaver. He took it looked like beach time at the day, took the lifesaver, threw it over his head and shoulder, and swam out there and brought 2 back. I couldn't have been more proud. And it was the pool.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, I was impressed. I don't know what's good.
In your opinion, what has changed the most in Whitman?
Too many condos. I just want to say, everybody wants to move to Whitman because it's a small town. And now it's not getting to be a small town anymore. I feel we're choking. We have so many condos. And I don't know. I think we should slow down a bit. Kind of keep it a small town. I'd like to see that.
Because it gets louder, right?
Oh, yeah, it does. And the traffic. If I pull out, I live on Gold Street right now. Actually, it's right across from where Jubil's used to be, the dollar store is now. And it used to be, actually used to be a carriage house. So when my kids say we were born in a barn, they always said that. But I go down to the end of Gold Street and try to get in there. After 3 o'clock, it takes you 5 minutes until some nice person stops, and they aren't always there. You have to wait. And in the morning, I go to the gym down at East Bridgewater, down to 5 Ritters to the Club X. And it's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. And one morning I said, gee, there's a lot of traffic. I counted 125 cars that I met just going that 1 mile, 1.5 miles. I mean, it's so busy, and they all come up from Hanson and in from East Bridgewater and whatever, crossing town. And it's just, when I remember how quiet it used to be. But
if you could have any wish, what would you bring to Whitman?
I don't know. What would I bring? Other than the Dairy Queen? I don't know. I guess I would. Pretty happy the way it is, but I fear that it's going to get so big it won't be like it is anymore. And when I walk into the bank, they say, hi, June, or if I go into Duval's, it's like, got a prescription, and he's gone. He doesn't even ask my name. That type of thing is small town. People know each other. They care about each other. I fear for that feeling being gone.
Yeah. I feel like life has been more like fast-paced.
Fast-paced?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I spent a lot of time doing many things. I would like to see, I spent 25 years working on the Whitman Park. The reason I was inspired to do that was because our selectmen gave baseball permission to put 5 baseball teams at the park. And I was horrified. I thought, why do you need 5 baseball teams? It's in a Olmsted Park. And somehow, actually it was through Claire Smedley, I got involved in it. I'd like to see that preservative legal business firmed up. I'd like to see the Historical Commission take charge of all the protection. And additions, historically, historically, take care of that. And right now, it's just shoved onto the DPW. And nobody cares about it more than historical people. And there is something precious about that park. Kids play there, they swim there, they have a little baseball field, they have a soccer there, playground there, basketball. In fact, I was the one that insisted we get fiberglass backboards and the breakaway hoops. And what it did was it drew a whole bunch of kids from Brockton, came over. And I went down one night and I walked by, and there's a mess all over the court, cups and everything like that. And so, who would you think did that? You won't say it, but you can think it. And I said, guys, can you take a little break for a few minutes and pick up all the stuff and put it in the trash can? The whole Brockton team came over and picked everything up and put it in the trash can. Whitman team ignored me completely and kept playing ball. Oh. And I was so disappointed. It was the Whitman kids that we put the thing up for. But everybody comes. People come from all over the place. I've met people that come there if they have some bad incident in their family, they'll come and they'll sit by the pond.
Is there any historical significance about the park?
Oh, yes, very much so. One of the first people to work on any kind of park was Frederick Law Olmsted. And he designed the Chicago Mall. He designed Central Park in New York. He was just the first that did that. He took a piece, like an artist, he took a piece of property and created a park out of it. And before I got involved, it was just, and it still says on the sign, much to my objection, Whitman Town Park. It's supposed to be Whitman Park, named after Mr. Whitman, who was a big politician and businessman in this town. It was named after him. But anyway, it should be Whitman Park. And when this came up about the baseball being put in there, I did a lot more research, and just was funny. Volunteers are very hard to get, but I put out some word about that. And I started that. It was at the first night, because John Campbell and I met. John Campbell said, would you come on the Historical Society for me? And I said, oh, John, I'd love to, but I'm starting up Friends of the Park. So John started up the Historical Society at the same time. And needless to say, we wouldn't have a history in town if it weren't for John Campbell. And we have done nothing to recognize him, and we should. But anyway, the park, I just got involved in it, and Claire Smedley had a grant that she found, and she gave me the grant. Little did I know what I was getting in for. I had to make 9 copies of about 20 pages of this grant application, and we got $285,000. So I was really impressed with myself.
That is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but it was a big start. And we took $19,000. I got another grant for that, and we hired a world-renowned designer, historical designer. It was just, from there on, it just snowballed. And we had wine tasting. A lot of people remember the wine tastings we had, and we did very well, raised a lot of money with that and a lot of money with the grants, and it just snowballed. And we have a beautiful park.
Is there anything we left out or you'd like to talk about?
I've talked too long already. I just did bring Pritchard. We had a flood in town. And I don't remember the year. It was in the 70s, I think. But Hobart's got so high, it went right straight across the street.
Oh, wow.
On Essex Street, went right straight across the street, just like there was no road there. That's how deep the water was. I don't think so. I think I said too much already anyway.
All right. And
Thank you.